And that's after about 15 minutes of soaking. The steams from the hot water.
No way.
Told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need.
So here's the results after just a couple minutes of being in a solution of the Lysol and water. I didn't measure anything, just kind of put some Lysol in and topped it off with water. And as you can see, it really did clean up the bolts a lot. There's still quite a bit of rust left, like the heavy stuff, but this bolt I'm holding here, the green stuff you're seeing is the yellow zinc coating, and it's peeling it off. But there were a couple pieces that had paint on them. It definitely took the paint off, and anything that had real light rust completely got cleaned. So far I'm really impressed, and now that I know this works, I'm going to go ahead and do a stronger batch. So here's the miscellaneous kind of parts I threw in. This is a brake line holder off a car that actually had paint on top of factory coating. That's the gray. So it's doing some work, and what I can feel is as I agitate the rust, it's coming loose pretty easily. This piece is off my Honda, and also the same thing. I can feel where it feels like the paint is kind of gummy, where it's getting eaten away. But the Lysol is actually doing a great job. I think if I were to have really heavy rusted bolts again, I would wire wheel them. Anything that's got heavy, thick rust or heavy, thick paint, if you took a wire wheel to it and clean it up, it would help it out. But here's a container that when you buy like the 1 pound deli meat, it comes in these containers, and I save them for car projects. Instead of throwing them away, there's no point in throwing them away. So what I decided to do is do a heavier concentration of the Lysol, and that's what I'm using this container for. Plus the other thing is, now that I'm putting the Lysol in here under full strength, I can put the lid on this container and shake it up to kind of agitate it as it goes. And I'm just showing here that the bolts that are kind of that baby blue, that's the stuff reacting with it already. The bubbles are the reaction with the rust. So I just thought I would show that. Here it is filled up. There's no water added. This is just straight Lysol, and you can really see how much it's reacting with the rust. And I was afraid of it bubbling over, kind of like the cup did, so I just went ahead and put it in the sink. Now, since this works so well, I decided I don't want to waste the fluid. I want to keep reusing it. So I'm dumping it into a second reusable container, and this is, again, one of those deli containers. So I'm just trying to keep the fluid without losing it. Now I'm going to go ahead and rinse the Lysol solution out. And I spent like a minute kind of shaking this around, getting it out, but here's the results. And this sat for probably about 2 hours. Anything that had light to medium rust is completely clean now. There is some bolts, as you can see here, that have really heavy rust. One of the things that's possible is that they were kind of built up in an area that they didn't get agitated enough. And I'm pretty positive if I would took a wire brush, even right now, I would have been able to knock that rust off. But the other thing I noticed is this plastic actually got pretty clean. So I'm curious if that will work on reservoirs that get contaminated with oil. So that's going to be probably a future video. But the bolts, if they're, like I said, if they're medium or light rust, they get really clean. And the one thing you got to watch out for, though, is now that these are super clean, they're not protected at all. These are bare steel. They want to surface rust or flash rust real quick once they dry. So after this step, I'm going to zinc coat it, which will be another video. This video is just to show you how to remove the rust, but I'll do another video on how to zinc coat them, and I'll post that in the description once that video is out. Here I'm just sealing up the container so I can use it again. But now you would have to like coat these in oil, paint them, zinc coat them, do something like that. To protect them from flash rusting. But it did a really good job, and I literally had this laying around my house. I didn't buy this for this video. I actually had this product. I'll link the product in my description as well. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it doesn't cost you anything. And it really would help out my channel. If you've done something like this, I know there's other solutions like CLR and some other toilet style cleaners. If you've done this before and you haven't used maybe necessarily this Lysol, drop a comment of what you use. Or if you have a different method, drop a comment. I do believe that if I would have wire brushed the heavy rust first, I definitely would clean it up perfectly. I'm kind of like just trying to test this out to see how lazy can I be with cleaning up bolts. Can I just throw them into a bucket and let them sit even overnight? So maybe I'll have to do a test if will be even better if they sit overnight. But instead of sitting there wire brushing every single nut and bolt, I think this did pretty good. Maybe this would be the time to go ahead and wire brush the bolts and then hit it for a second round, for a minute or two and really clean them up. But like I said, make sure you drop a thumbs up if you liked the video, or a subscription would really help me out. And until next time, guys.